We're at NFT Paris 2025 and we are at the Seize Control booth here. I'm here with Ed. Tell us about the project. What is this about?
So Seize Control do some wonderful stuff. Very good friends and close partners by Sovereign. They're doing some wonderful stuff in the blockchain space. They are allowing me here to come and showcase some of my technology that is not directly affiliated with them, but we are all one big family within Bitcoin. So again, huge amount of love for Seize Control. Definitely check them out if you don't know what they're doing. But what we're definitely showing off here is a new category in computing. Something we've been building in stealth with nvidia for the past 4 years. We've been their only partner with access to their AI chips and the Android baseboard to build a consumer gaming device. So we started building self-contained virtual reality headsets. We invented the very first one in 2012. We did a lot of work with Samsung, with Mattel, with nvidia over the past 8 to 10 years, prototyping different products and devices. About 4 years ago, we stopped making headsets themselves and we started looking at where the space was going wrong. And we realized it was all due to the weights of the headsets. So we did the next logical thing where we decoupled the compute from the display. And we have a device we call Curve. So this is effectively a desktop class PC that can be used in a few interesting ways. Primarily plugged into a TV, monitor, mouse, keyboard. It's a desktop computer. It runs an Android or a Linux operating system. We have an ASIC mining chip and we have a 2 terabyte SSD, so you can have a full Bitcoin node and OR client sync with the device. Now, it's an interesting modular form factor. Now, this dock will always remain under the television, so you can disconnect what is a computer and a hotspot in the background. And these click together to go inside the bag that is then able to house the computer while you plug in your virtual or augmented reality glasses. So you're fully untethered with a high-performance PC. So what we have here is a developer kit. This is what we're shipping to developers currently. Okay. Again, this does still have the ASIC mining chip and the 2 terabyte SSD, and we're looking to get this into the hands of developers capable of making compelling content for the consumer product that we take to market next year. So in essence, this developer kit, much like the device I have in my bag, can be used in a few interesting ways. Primarily, as you can see here, we have them plugged into the Xreal One Pro glasses, which are some upcoming augmented reality glasses, currently playing Call of Duty. I don't know if we can show this through the camera, but I can certainly share some footage with you to show you how it works. But in effect, when you turn your head around, you're seeing an ultra-wide screen game of a multiplayer Call of Duty game, all coming from this lovely little gadget. Yeah. Now, we can do a few things here. We can disconnect this screen, the glasses rather, and I can reach into my pockets. I have a magnetic touchscreen, which will connect to the front of the device, turning this thing into a open source turbocharged Nintendo Switch, if you will.
Oh, nice.
And here we have controllers that we can attach onto the sides. And we can see the same game of COD is still playing.
Very cool.
So this is effectively, let me just get back out of here. Call of Duty now playing in ultra widescreen over here with a mouse and keyboard. This is also a touchscreen. So this has moved from being a desktop PC to a spatial computer to a handheld, all coming from the same one piece of tech. So it's a new category in computing where we've taken NVIDIA's latest AI chips, what are known as Jetson, Orin, NX, and we've been putting the Android baseboard on top of them, as well as Linux, and now an operating system that I can show you that we fully inscribed on chain. So if I exit this, I can take us to the home screen, and this home screen will allow us to load up Ordos. Now this is an operating system that is 100% on Bitcoin.
Wow.
Everything on here, and we have things like Photoshop Pros, we have things like Blender Pros, 3JS code editors. All of these things we've inscribed as applications that are on-chain in an operating system that is censorship resistant and open to anyone to use for the rest of the time. So incredible. We do a lot of very fun stuff in the world of bleeding edge Bitcoin. And yeah, this is a wonderful space to be in. I do feel it's the latest frontier for innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. I tried the glasses out myself a moment ago, and it's, I mean, as someone who's been a VR gamer for years, they're typically quite cumbersome, etc. But this is very freeing in that respect. How would you describe sort of that leap that this provides, as opposed to, I guess you call it, the traditional VR experience?
So there's a problem where users are not comfortable wearing weights on their faces for too long. Anything more than 60 to 100 grams is just uncomfortable. The Vision Pro is 650 grams. The Quest 3 is about 400 or 500 grams. They're nice, but they're very heavy. The issue is, however, when you decouple the compute from the display, you become a display manufacturer with very little margins. And these companies don't want that because then someone else is going to make a different computer to plug their glasses into. So they unfortunately will give consumers a product that is a little bit heavier so that they keep their control on the ecosystem. Which is fine. They're companies in Silicon Valley, it's corporations, capitalism 101. But what we're trying to build here is something where we've done no VC funding. We've been funding this ourselves and through the Web3 space now, and we're now factory tool and shipping developer kits to developers worldwide. So we managed to get to that point, and we've done it really just through the powers of Bitcoin. So any developer, any innovator, anyone who has any interest in bleeding edge tech, I think Bitcoin is the latest frontier. And with that, with libraries like WebXR recently being put on chain, you can now have literally holographic VR and AR ordinals. Things are starting to get very, very interesting very quickly.
Yeah, very, very exciting. And speaking of things getting very exciting very quickly, we're at the start of 2025. We've got these shipping to developers now. What else can we expect from you guys across the rest of this year?
So expect a lot of very rapid development. What we're good at and known for is our rapid prototyping and being able to ship products fairly sharp. So we've dabbled on a few interesting ordinal collections. We've certainly helped them on a lot of the back-end tech, and we've worked on some ourselves that all have some innovation behind them. That some way, shape or form that we're using ordinal theory or the Rune meta protocol in a new and an interesting way. So anything that we can do to support other people in the space, either entering the space or even those in the space already that need help with compression, with getting content on chain, we've always been around to help.
Fantastic. And for people that want to find out more, where should they go?
Wonderful, thank you. Curvereality.com. Literally it's a curved computer for virtual reality and augmented reality. So curvereality.com.
Fantastic. Ed, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.